But mainly they're 1980s stories. The first one was that I got really close to, or for some reason, I was really close to Mary Baba's family in Korshed. Most of all, actually live with Korshed at my daily agenda. And she was the only one of Mary Baba's Mandali that would bring all the gossip to the women Mandali in Marathon. She gossiped about their food. She got all the different things that they didn't have in Marathon. She was the conduit for gossip stories. John Foreman used to love to be with Korshed. Now he married a girl named Frenny, Dr. Frenny, the Chanchan. They live up in Chapel Hill, and they got their daughter named Rabia, which she's a good singer. And anyhow, Mara calls me one day. And he says, Tony, I would like for you, if it's possible for you, to take Korshed to go out 3 times. Oh my God, I gotta take Korshed to go out 3 times. I said, I'm really blessed. Wow, Mara's asking me to take Korshed. I said, definitely I will do that, Mara. In any case, because they wanted to hear about the seafood, and by the time that Times of Bible was in the early 30s, and the journey they just reminded them about all these agendas that took place with Mary Baba and several trips that we made to go on the plantations and all this stuff, having the coconut water, walking on the beach. So, anyhow, I'm on my way to Goa, and she stipulated 3 conditions. This had to be the perfect place for Korshed. It was going to be a little hotel or a hotel on the beach. Remember, this is not the Goa that it is today, full of different peoples and tourism and Indians going up. This was the rural type of Goa. And there was so what she stipulated that I had to find a hotel uh, on the beach or near the beach, within walking distance, with a supermarket across and one restaurant on the beach side. They all had to be within a close vicinity. So, okay. So, take a train to Pune, me, Asha, and Sudam. There's no kids at that time. And Sudam had been living with Korshed at the Mirababa Trust, Sudam and Asha, his wife. And since I spend a lot of time, I spend the night at Korshed, she has her own little place somewhere else outside of the trust. On the way to Marasad, I spend my nights in there, that kind of stuff. So we take a train, and I'm really thrilled to death because I never thought I would go to Goa and see the beaches of India in that part of Goa, which was supposedly a very nice place with lots of fishes and all that stuff. So I get a chance to go to the beach. Oh my God. I was thrilled to death. And we arrived in Goa, on the beach, in one of these areas in Goa, central Goa, near where St. Francis of Assisi, St. Francis Xavier is buried in the city of Goa. Not buried, but put out in a glass casket because his body had not deteriorated. He arrived from Portugal against with the Portuguese that settled in Goa. Very beautiful place, the city of Goa. And then all the big houses, still in fairly good condition from the Portuguese days, and several Catholic churches in Goa itself. And Goa is basically Catholic people with the Goan language because the Portuguese were there. So they taught Christianism. Okay, so now I have to play in the stipulated place. I think it's going to be easy breezy. No, sir. So we're going along the coast and then passing these beautiful fields with coconuts and some plantations. I think it was like rice type of plantations. I don't know if it was rice or back in those days. On the journey down there, we get on the train. It was very, very interesting because somehow the only bogie available was one full of nuns. Nothing but Catholic nuns head to their home in Goa, coming from. And Korshed, she starts in a conversation, they're talking about Jesus and so she brought Mary Bottom to the topic. And they were mesmerized. They had never heard about a Mary Baba. And what really was amazing, that when you took Korshed out of the Mary Baba's surroundings, she had a glow around her, a real glow. She was glowing. So that was a great bonus. The only other person that ever glowed for me was Mara, not even Mommy. I don't even remember Mara glowing like Korshed did. I mean, she had this like white light around her, and of course, Baba named Chandrika, named Mara's best friend in the times of Radhakrishna. Okay. And so now I get us a taxi, and we go looking on, head towards south. And we got there early in the morning, comes evening time. Nothing. About 3 or 4 in the afternoon. Nothing. We're going through every big beach town and beach towns around the coast. And I'm saying, what the heck, man? How are we going to find out? Where are we going to find out? I don't get it, why, of course, it's stipulated all those things. But I know why, because Korshed couldn't walk that far. Anyhow, we went to a place, Kolba Beach. It's really for south. Very different place. And there was a park in front of the beach with a little hotel, a supermarket, and a restaurant. I go, oh my gosh, I can't believe this before the night falls. This is the wedding season in India. Shadi time, and the honeymooners are going to be there. So this was an old hotel, first 1 story high. There was no high rises or nothing. I didn't go. Maybe in the big city, 2, 3 stories. And not just a lot of Portuguese houses. There was nothing fancy dancing about it. There was no airplane or nothing. So you had to go by train. On our way to Goa, just remember this, they had oversold the train tickets. So there was no way in the world that we were going to go in there because there was a lot of confusion. Like some seats, number 6, 7, or 8, they were sold 4 or 5 times. Everybody had the same seats. So everybody was just a chaos. So it says, of course, we have to stay here. That intermediate station. I know what the name of it. There was nothing. In and then it goes towards the coast. The train passes through nowhere. In any case, I don't know what we're going to do. We have to spend the night here. And then the train conductor, along with a ticket conductor, see me and Korshed and Sudamanasha. And what they see is Korshed's globe. I'm sure of that. So the train master comes. Yeah, it was the train master. He's a ticket collector, the big boy. And he says, Mother, we have tickets for this? Yes. But they're for this bogie that everybody is sitting on. Why don't you come with me and I'll take you to this nice bogie and I'll leave it empty just for you. Well, they would fill up some of the seats, but it was like with private type of compartments. And here comes my mind blower, where they start saying that. Here we are, everybody's fighting for the tickets to get into the train, and because Korshed's presence, we get to travel. And that happened until we got to Goa itself, the city of Goa. So now we're going to Panaji Beach and the big city, famous colored Panaji. And they have pretty good stuff in there, but nothing as requested by Korshed. So we're down there at 3, 4 o'clock in the evening, right on the beach. And the place with all the requirements. But being wedding time, there's no rooms available. So we go to this modest hotel, and there's not too many of them, like 3 or 4. Where the heck are we going to go? This is the end of the road. It goes on further now, all the way to Palolem Beach and Agonda Beach and so on and so forth, right on the border between that and Kerala. So, knock. Comes this little Indian guy, Gee. And she says to me, and Sudan translates for me at the time. I don't have hardly any. He says that a wedding party is checking out too. So they'll have a room ready before 5 p.m. So there's one room. Now I need one for me and Sudan. And I'm very happy. So at least Korshed and Asha will have their room. We come back. And what transpired there was another wedding party. Another man and wife that had come there in a motorcycle. Nobody owned cars in those days, motorcycles. And the guy has been arguing and fighting for his people that they need to get out because another party is coming. That's me and Sudan. And we witnessed this whole affair. The wedding couple, they're still in there for God knows how long. They don't want to leave. But eventually they give up at the insistence of this guy. And they want their money back. And so the guy gladly gives it the hell out. So now I'm in there. Okay. So Korshed, she had 600 rupees on it was February. And my birthday had arrived. She got a little packet of cards with her cards, and then she puts all her money was 600 rupees at that time. And that, the rupees worth some money. It was like 3, 4, 5 rupees to $1. So on my birthday, she gives me this little packet. She says, Tony, here's your birthday present. Boy, I was amazed. She says, I don't have more, or I give it to you. These people are just so superb, big with courses. A dream of all dreams, because no foreigner ever did this or went with this anywhere. going to Bindi House in Pune with her, not even John Foreman, because at the time he was working and living at the trust. He was a nurse coming from a very wealthy family in Nashville, North Carolina, where presently lives. I haven't seen him in years of time. In any case, restaurant time. That evening, thrilled to death, and we got a place to stay. Very modest. No TVs, no nothing, no radio. Just a fan and a big bed, and that's the end of it, and maybe 4 or 2, one of those dressers, Indian style. That was it, don't even, with a little toilet. Okay, so we walk to the restaurant next door, and there's a restaurant owner standing there with one of his servants, and he's getting the scolding of his life. This guy is absolutely on the rage, and the guy was going like this, the servant. I couldn't believe it. This guy is, give this guy the scolding. He says, okay. Oh, and he looks at Korshed. And I think it's a glow again. And now that restaurant in Culver Beach is very crowded. So he says, Madam, you're here. I've been kind of expecting someone like you. And you have showed up. Come into my restaurant. And he calls the main waiter, right? And he says to the waiter, this table is reserved for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and no one else is to sit there. And if Madam was anything special that is not in the market, you go and get it and fetch it for them and have the cooks properly and supervise them cooking, because she has to eat delicious food. Wow, man. All these emotions, man. It's unreal big with Korshed outside of her environment, because all the Mandali that I travel with have the same essence, but in a different way, But you have to get them out of their environment. Just like Babaji would come here, or whoever came, you would feel the presence at the airport, at the old airport, before the thing arrived, or Baba's presence, I should say. Well, in any case, we had a wonderful 2.5 weeks, I don't know how long it took, then we're going back towards the city of Pune. We go visit Baba's house, and I think she went to Bindi House where her richest family lived. And some days, and I was, very contented. The following year, again, and the same thing happened again. Went to the same hotel in Culver Beach, and we had another marvelous time. And what transpired to Korshed is that she started to lose her balance in one leg. And Mara said, Tony, don't take Korshed the third time. I said, yes, Mara. In any case, so that was, I think, a fairly decent story. That was really privileged to be a part of it and really enjoyed it, which made my life so pleasant. I didn't care about work. I did have businesses that were growing up. I'm pretty good. Hell with this, I gotta go to India twice a year, because I told you that story of Mara about, I was afraid she would pass away. So that took care of it. Now, sometime in the 80s, I don't know anything about medical treatments or anything like that. Counseling, those problems, they didn't cross my imagination. Like, what the type of problem? So, I remember that when I went to the bathroom in those days, I saw a little bit of bleeding. And I said, oh my God, maybe I'm dying. I might have a cancer. I don't know what this is. I'm not going to go see no doctor. I'm just going to leave for India immediately. And I was really worried about it because I'm at, my gosh, I'm in my 30s, somewhere like that. And so I head out to India. Of course, I stayed with Rustam and Saraf and, you know, Nikki and the daughters, Mary Rose and so on and so forth, and Charles and Rebbe, right behind called Griss Terrace, somewhere above Abidjan's tomb, the market, and so oh my God, market stunk, with all the cutting up around. But great mangoes. And then I said, I'm sorry, I have some sad news to tell you. I says, I think I have cancer or something disease because some of the people in the bathroom and stuff. So there was a doctor on MG Road, behind MG Road, the next road, at the time they had the Sagar restaurant and places that, I think it was the Sagar that Baba used to frequent. Joel and so on and so forth. Very old restaurant, something like that. And there's Dr. Barucha. He was Mayor Baba's doctor when Baba was in Pune. And Dr. Barucha had really liked Mayor Baba, but he didn't believe that Mayor Baba was God. And we don't know. Twins tell me this is Dr. Barucha. So we go down to his office, and he says, Doctor, says, oh, Rustam Surah, how are you? This and that, this is my friend Tony Griss from the U.S. Please give him an examination because he says he's got a deadly disease and he's been all worried that he's going to die. So examine him. So the doctor takes about 5 minutes. And he says, you know what my conclusion is? That this boy has hemorrhoids. And he's being worried. Why? He's with Mayor Papa. And Mayor Papa said, don't worry, be happy. And then Dr. because he was a mean doctor, very mean. Like when his nurses didn't know what he said, he'd throw the books at him and all this stuff, according to, the twins and Kareem, Mai, and all this stuff, He was a very feared doctor. And coming to find out that Dr. Barucha became a Baba lover, or was a Baba lover already. And this guy didn't believe in God or nothing because he said it was a medical type of a person. Dr. Barucha's story. Okay, let me see. Let me see what else I put up in here. Good. And those 80s, I used to visit so many homes of people that had met Mayor Baba since the 1930s. 3-generation Baba lovers. And they were really talkative about this wonderful time that they have with Mayor Baba because Mayor Baba would visit their homes. Now, one time, Mayor Baba went to Kashmir, which is near Harba, along with some of the Mongolians, because he wanted to go where he had lived as Isa some eons of time ago. I think Jesus is the name of Isa. So I'm going to check it all out. Okay, when Baba was in Kashmir, He was very, very happy because they went by this bus and rented bus. They went by train and they rented a bus for handling and the luggages and so on and so forth. And he had 3 boys from Kashmir that knew how to drive. So he was very, very pleased. And Baba slept on the bus, and he told the boys that nobody is to enter the bus or have anything to do with the bus. Then one day, this boy went in the bus, and Baba was furious. So, out. But he remained as a driver because he was a very good driver. Baba, it's one of his moody things that he acts as a human being, but he's not. And after Baba spends whatever time he did, he tells the boys, now, you have pleased me very much, so I will give you whatever you want. Ask. And one of the boys is really happy. He's thinking about getting a couple of bull carts so he can help his family cultivate the lands. Sir, we would like to have my bull cart rented. And the little boy says, try Roach. Not Roach, but Dr. I'll take his name. And what would you like? And he says, a bicycle. And Dr. Darajant, or Mr. Darajant, Baba's secretary at that point in time. And then there's the other boy. What is it that you want? And he says, George, I just want to be with Mary Baba and nothing else. That's my only wish. Eric relates that to Baba. Of course, Baba understands. And he said that's impossible. You cannot live with me. You're asking for something that I can't give. And I can't do that. But this is the only thing I want. If you don't give me that, then I want nothing from you. Just to have the memories, have service. Okay, I love that this discussion goes on. He says, what if in the city of Pune, which I frequent, I'll open up a business for you. I'm accessible to you when I'm in Hyderabad sometimes. Yes, that would be very happy. So, Baba opened them up the Kashmiri gift store, which is in MG Road. And he called it the Kashmir gift store. Kashmiri gifts. It's still in there, huh? Very modern, and they sell really cool stuff like that. So the Kashmiri Wala, he used to, when I went there, to buy some rugs, I just, because I always love carpets, real handcrafted. And other little gifts, to bring to America for my family. I would buy them with the Kashmiri Wala. And so we used to have the tea, and he would tell me the same story about he would spend a lot of time with Mary Baba when Baba was in Pune, and how his business has prospered, and he can't believe that he had that great fortune. The Kashmiri Wala, when I left India about 3 years ago, near 3 years back, actually 3 years, about 3 years almost on the dot, without any plans to return to India. Because I got fed up with him in the car. The same breakfast every morning and fruits at night. In any case, when I left, he was ailing real bad. And this happened in the 30s. So I don't know, but he was a boy. And I don't remember his age, but his son has a Kashmir store. And it's really beautiful shop now. It's flourish and flourish beyond anything. And there's the Bombay store down there in Mexico, next to it somewhere. So that was another good thing that transpired. I befriended this guy. Now let me see what else. So in Pune, the accessibility to Mayor Baba Center, which installed the sandalwood tree, because sandalwood became very expensive, and they had a big tree right inside the Mayor Baba Center. The teams came like night, and I don't know what happened, but all the roots of the whole tree was gone. Pune. There was a fella from that was in charge of the bookstore, and he wrote those books, and I don't remember the name of him, but it's God is Love, or Love Mayor Baba, and all of that. He was from South India. And anyhow, through him and the center, they had like a small meeting on Monday nights. I started going to visit many homes where Mayor Baba had attended for generations. The most important, as I heard Eroge one time narrated, that this was this marriage in Pune. And in that house, the husband was very anxious, but they had children. And the wife was not allowed to see Mayor Baba because she had to dress up the children, make the foods for them, get them all cleaned up, and send them to take them to school and come back and start her daily chores. So one day, the woman, Baba said, she says, I can't do this. I've got to see my beloved Mayor Baba. So I don't care if my husband beats me or what, customary habit of Indians in those days. So she goes to see Mayor Baba. And takes Baba's direction, and Baba says, what are you thinking? You seem like you're concerned about something. Oh yes, Baba, my husband is going to work and I have to take care of the children and so on and so forth, He's already home. I don't know what's going to happen when I go. This is no work. I don't know if people have heard this. But in any case, she goes home. And the husband is already. And on their way home, the person that was inside that was similar looked just like the wife had just opened the door and vanished. And then she walks in, and the guy is very happy with her wife because she did the proper cooking, dressed the kids to go to school, and did everything. So as Eric relates, Mayor Baba took his place because she loved Baba so much that she wrote his darshan. So that was interesting. Now, there were some other peoples that I used to frequent all the time because they were generations of Baba's people, and one of them was really interesting. Yeah, it was Russia's house. That was a very interesting house because Baba had married her and her husband. One of the houses, so many that I went to. And the husband spoke good English, brilliant guy, and his wife, and that. And they had an elder daughter and so on and so forth. And so he says, yes, Baba had performed a wedding ceremony and he wanted me and my husband to get married. I forgot the husband's name, or something, but her name was definitely Russian. And then we grew up. The children grew up, and we're all Baba lovers. And we attended Mayor Baba, and we're so sad when Baba passed away. And Baba did the wedding for us. And not only that, he named the children. And he was very loving. And he would come into our house and sit with us, as long as other houses of Pune Baba lovers. And we just had a wonderful time. And we miss Mayor Baba very, very much. Okay? So I went to many, many homes like that in Pune, to people from India, to visit many, many different households and hear about their lives and times with Mayor Baba and all the events that transpired throughout their existence with Mayor Baba. They were very, very lovely people. And there was that Baba singer that did all the singers sung all the stuff in Pune, and all the songs are sung in the Samadhi. I just thought of that, so I can't think of his name right away, but I will. I went to see him when he was saying he was Mayor Baba's Bhajan main singer. Pratap is not one of the singers, but now he just had a stroke or something. So, but they still do that. Okay, the Bhajan singers, which they go to the Dhoni every month in India. They still do. Madhusudam was his name, Madhusudam. I went to see Madhusudam when he was ailing. And with his ailing after his stroke, he still remembered everything that transpired with Baba. If the stroke didn't have affected him physically, he couldn't play his harmonium anymore, but he sang Baba songs for him in his home. That was very lovely to see him just before he passed away. Incredible. There was another family in Pune that I went to visit. I can't recall their name. But they're also a 3-generation Mayor Baba family. And the father had met Mayor Baba, and then Baba would come and visit their house and all that. And then what happens was that the father eventually became really, really sick from a heart attack. So what he did, he was in his room and he closed his eyes and he took Mayor Baba's name 24 hours a day. Not eating, not thinking, nothing. Just Baba, 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 without those utterances. And I don't remember if Mayor Baba went to see him when he was in that state of condition, but according to the family which was present, he died taking Mayor Baba's name 24 hours a day. Those are the kind of dedicated Baba lovers that, as far as I'm concerned, they're very rare and unique. I couldn't do that. I don't know anybody else that takes Baba's name 24 hours a day in their busy lives. And that includes the Mandali, only for Gulanjala's father, Kaikobat. But anyhow, all those wonderful visits that I had, my acquaintance with the twins, my lovely time with Korshed, and the love that I received from Mara and Mani, and all the love that pervaded me in India, and as well as here, until I became really present in his presence. And that's not all the time, believe me, not all the time. because I've been so busy here that, yeah, but I'm going back. Thank you, Baba. Nothing else to do. That's been kind of like a lovely and wonderful life as far as I'm concerned for myself. I don't need much of anything. I don't want much of anything. And as somehow in the back of my mind, I told Baba, Baba, I want to go to these places that I've never been. Take Yuki to. First, I want to go back to Ham Airport because the Mela is in December, so I'll never be able to go back because I got to open up near Baba's house. I'm going to be the caretaker. In another sense, I'll have the key to Mayor Baba's house, and it's going to be open 5 days a week, so I can take a break I'll figure out what a good time is, like maybe 10 to so many hours, take a break, and come back and work it in the evening time. 5 days a week, maybe 6. But as of next month, I think this is the most important thing that I can tell you too. That Mayor Baba's house will be open up on a daily basis.